Hey, check out this clip from the Pre-Patch podcast.
Good old, and I can't believe I'm saying this, man. Marvel Rivals NetEase's game. They got a banger on their hands, man. I am
Potential.
NetEase potential
There's
if they keep
potential.
up with it.
Hey, NetEase, I heard that he'd said that Hulk's ass was too small.
I did not say it.
Ban him. Ban him.
We're
Get him,
already
NetEase.
in heat for
Get
this
him,
podcast,
NetEase.
bro.
Now, this is in closed alpha right now, right?
This isn't yes. So
Yeah.
Is there a way to get
quotations.
access to that alpha, or is it like
Didn't it close today?
no.
the
It
20th,
goes
I
to the
think.
20th.
Was it the 20th? Okay, I thought
yeah.
it was the 16th.
So so here's the thing about it. Like you could have like they opened up the game when it first got announced. They opened you up to go and take a survey and fill it out to get into the code to get into it. Essentially, they were like, hey, how much how many games like Overwatch, how many games like shooters
How
have you
much
played?
money do you
Yeah,
spend
that was
a month?
literally
on
it was one of the
Overwatch?
questions. One of the questions in there was like, you buy a lot of skins in games? How much money do you think you spend on something
Same.
like this?
I max my shit out.
Yeah, no, I was like,
Yeah.
let me scroll to the very
Since
end.
like,
Boop,
since
yes.
like here in the dialogue box, Sin just put his credit card numbers.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
hey, I took a second mortgage out to buy that horse in Diablo.
Yeah, they
but-
sent in 10 keys for that.
So you got a key there, and then they have like a creator program that allows for people to get keys, but they've been pretty stern about giving keys out, and they have this really fucking weird like they have this thing that where you can click inside the game, and once you hit level 6 you can get a key, but only if it's not
There's a
everybody.
limited amount of keys. So
And-
we
and
found
it's a
out-
pool.
I'm
It's a
pretty
pool
sure
of
that's yeah.
keys.
I'm pretty sure that's
Oh.
the case because like it
I
opens
heard
at
something
5
about that.
p.m. It
Yeah.
opens at 5 p.m. Central, I think, or not Central, Pacific
EDT.
Standard Time, I think is what it is. Yeah, so it opens at 5 p.m. and Pika was saying that like literally within like 20 minutes they're gone. All the
Yeah.
keys are gone.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody and everybody
Plus,
can just
it's
get a key.
it's a terrible system that
It's a
way because you
terrible
have so many
system, dude.
bots and
Yeah.
well, and hackers and all that just race to get those keys.
I will say it's a better system than Once Human. Once Human was just like,
Yeah.
"Ah, come to our Discord. We'll just put it in a fucking channel. And
Oh
maybe
no,
you'll
they
get it."
still
I
do
don't
that.
know.
No, they still do that here. That's not any different.
But at least they give you another option to get it. That's all the Once Human did for the longest time. I think that they still do that. I don't
Yeah.
It's a
know for
terrible
sure,
way
but
too.
yeah.
So the other side about this is that they are so it's closed out for right now, and then if once you reach level 10, you are guaranteed to be into the closed beta, which I am almost 100% sure that the closed beta for this is going to happen literally within a
like
week
right after.
this thing goes out of closed alpha, and then it's going to go to open beta, and then it's going to launch. Because in the corner when you get into the main menu, it says preseason ends in 85 days. Well, if you do the math, most preseasons are about 15 to 20, maybe 30 days, depending on the game. And you are, and then it goes into season 1. So if you do the math there, that's saying that this game will essentially launch probably within the next month. I would say this is probably going to be a June launch. I realize that we are
If
not doing a very
like
good
end of
job
July.
explaining what this game is. So Marvel Rivals, for all of our audio listeners, I apologize. Marvel Rivals is a 6v6 hero-based third-person shooter with essentially it's take Overwatch, make it third person, or like Paladins.
Let's take Overwatch OG, the Overwatch 1 when it
Yeah.
first launched. Like that's what this is.
And you have characters from the Marvel universe like Doctor Strange, Penny Parker, Hela, Iron Man, Black
Hulk,
Panther, Hulk,
Iron Man, yeah.
A lot of
Groot.
a lot of underdog, like not underdogs, but like smaller, lesser
smaller
known characters too.
Yeah. But here's the thing: the game, it's good. Like it's not without its faults.
Yeah,
like,
just-
there's some
Just
issues, but-
really quickly, just have to have a shout out because we haven't talked about it. Pika, thank you for the codes. I know
For
that you
sure.
gave me
Thank you.
one. I know that
You got me one too.
you got Scruffy one. So we appreciate it, bud. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But
And we are required by law to say that the game is good. By the way,
Fuck that, bro. I don't give
yeah,
a shit.
there is some controversy around, like there is a no disparaging
say it.
clause. So a rumor was that somebody got banned for saying that Hulk had a flat ass. it's a rumor, it's not been
Rumor.
confirmed or whatever else. And also to again, I'm not giving it, I'm not saying it's right, but this is something that's in common in almost all betas and alphas that people get into. They just don't know. They just don't do the due diligence to read it. It just became known that this dude said, rumored that he said something about a flat ass, a Hulk, and now and people saw it and they're all pissed off. But
yeah, so to just go over that, like when I found out about it, I was like, nah, I don't care. I'm gonna state what I state, and if they ban me, they ban me. Like
Yeah.
that's the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Like, and regardless if it's on other games or not, it's still a very dumb thing to do, especially when you're wanting feedback from an alpha. You shouldn't have that.
The worst part is, man, like the game is not even bad. Like there was no reason
it didn't
for it.
need it. There was there was absolutely no fucking reason for it.
Yeah,
the
was
game
Was there a
was
clause in
good.
the contract that you had to close your windows and have your
Oh,
neighbors?
was
No,
that
they didn't
fire
go-
right
they didn't
away?
go
Oh
full
my
Ubisoft.
God.
yeah, they didn't go full
But
Ubisoft
yeah.
mode.
No.
Make sure the
Um,
curtains are completely covered, and then
that
put
was-
a second curtain on top of it.
Yeah.
That was a big that was a big hit on Twitter for him.
That's
And I
about
think
as
that they
much
wa-
the
I think
drama this game stirred up.
They reversed it.
I think that
reversed some
I
stuff.
was about to say I think they walked
Did
it
they
back,
reverse
or
it?
at least they're in the
Yeah.
process of walking it back because they
I heard
basically they
did
basically
stated
stated that
something.
they basically stated that, hey, we, that was just a basic, contractual, TOS that we had in file just to kind of throw in there. We want to hear your feedback. And I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't be making it like with that non-disparaging clause. I couldn't say something like, I don't like the fact that Loki is a fucking healer. That makes
Right.
no sense to me. Like that is vital feedback
Whether
for
or
a
not
game, right?
other games do it as well, it's just I don't think it's right in any aspect
So
of
it's-
any game doing. It's just
Do
it's,
you think
yeah.
maybe it was in there to like try to like curb like people that aren't playing the game that like, or maybe like got it just to hate on it, like some Overwatch fanboys that got it
No, it
just
still
to
happens. It's still
slander it.
happening.
I
Sure,
I
but
was about to
that's
say
still
if
gonna
it
happen. I mean,
that's such a terrible way of doing it.
Right,
Yeah, because
because-
you're just
Yeah,
you're
I'm
just
not
gonna
trying to
bring even
justify it, I'm
more.
just
those
trying to
people are
figure
still
out
gonna.
why.
Those are the people who aren't even gonna play the game. They're just gonna hate on it and always hate on it. It doesn't matter if
Yeah.
they get banned or not.
I'm gonna
They're
go
gonna
even. I'm gonna
find
go
a
even
stop 'em.
darker side. I don't think that NetEase had a full trust that the game was going to do well, and so they were more like, "Hey, we're gonna put this out there because we don't know if this game's any good." And
To be fair, there's not been a great track record with Marvel games. So
no, absolutely not. But
maybe they're not
to be-
too wrong in that thinking.
To be fair, we're talking about this like it's out and completely released. They still got a long time to
Yeah,
piss people
no.
off.
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
100%, dude. Like that's I said, the game's got potential, but like I'm not jumping the gun, and being like it's
Yeah,
the game. It's
Right.
amazing.
it's good.
and
man.
everything.
But
It's
it's
good. It is
like it plays well. You have and again, this is a game that is a hero-based shooter. So you have 6v6, and they have like there's tank classes, there's
see
DPS
that?
classes, there's healer classes. What?
fucking moth was just like.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something I
I was
did in the
like,
game.
what
I
the
was like, yeah, no, I didn't want to commend anybody, so I just backed the fuck out. Yes, and put us in another
Ciao.
match.
Fucking moth is like dive bombing me, man. I'm like,
That's because he's from NetEase. He's like, you talk shit about a game.
No,
How
that's
dare
that's a
you?
moth
Loki
that,
is
that
my
moth
fucking-
came straight from Helldivers, bro.
Yeah.
He's coming back
that's
for
true
your ass.
too. Yeah.
But in any case, again, it's and so, but and you have different modes like push the payload and defend and capture the point and whatever. And honestly,
Yeah.
like we only have 3 maps that we really get to play on. And I think it's 3.
I thought it was 2. I thought it was 2.
No,
And
it's
the-
3. It's 3.
Are you sure? I thought it
It
was 2,
is.
and then they transfer between positions.
No, because I filled out
No.
their survey and they wanted
Okay.
me to rate each one of their 3 maps. So I was like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. So, but the game, like they feel fresh. The maps are done really well. There is some stuff with like destructible environments. It's a little
couple of
wonky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
The fact that I got stuck under a fucking
Yeah,
piece
that's
of
weird.
fucking
That was
destructible
hilarious. I
environment and
didn't
couldn't
see
get
that
out of
happen
it.
to anybody
I
else but you.
gotta imagine that that is like a development that's not supposed to happen, and they've got to obviously fix it. But again, this also their map design I think is really, really good. Like I think their characters feel good, and a lot of people are shitting on it because they're just like, oh, this is why go play this? Just fucking go play Overwatch. And again, I go back to being like, can we not just have something fucking good? Like, do you have to
Right.
just shit on something? Like, yes, there are characters in here that have a shield. Does that mean he's Reinhardt? No. There's characters
Wow,
that
Hold up. I said there are characters in here that are direct rips from.
I'm not
fucking,
saying I'm
like,
not I'm not saying, but like
Like
I'm
who? Give an example.
So it's Tracer and what's his name?
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord
Quill.
are exact rips. They're basically the same person. It's just
I-
Quill can
Pretty
fly.
much.
I
Except it
argue-
just doesn't have a
no, they're
time
not.
factor.
I don't think
I
so.
argue that you're wrong.
Other than the shooting animation, like
I'm-
the
I was
SMG
gonna- no,
animation
I-
with the spin, but
It was
none
gonna,
of
it's
the
the
other.
shooting animation and the dodge, but it's not like a time affected dodge. There's okay. It's just like Paladins. It's just
Yeah.
like
I'm
all
not
these
saying
other
it's a
hero
bad
shooters.
thing,
They all take
Yeah.
and pull from
Yeah.
each other. That's all it is.
but
It's not
like
a bad
Doctor
thing.
But can
Doctor
Tracer fly?
Strange. Doctor Strange has a shield that's
No,
pretty
yeah.
much like Reinhardt.
Yeah.
What's his name? Magneto has the basically the same shield. I mean, it's they've taken a lot of things, but they've also done things that are directly in contrary to what that is. They've made them somewhat their own characters. But
yeah,
there-
I mean,
there's
unique
definitely
enough.
there's definitely
they
pieces that have been brought
they
from
looked
it.
at Overwatch and was like, hey, what are some things that are cool, right? Like they're not like
Yeah,
again,
what do
why
people like?
why reinvent the fucking wheel? Like some of this stuff, like
Right.
cool, like we can take.
I'm gonna say, man, like it's not a bad thing, like coming into these kind of games, right off the rip, it actually helps to like
Yeah,
have
there's a
some knowledge.
familiarity to it.
There's a familiarity. You get into it like,
Yeah.
oh, this character feels a lot like Reinhardt. Okay, I could get into
Yeah,
this.
Scar-
Or this character
An-
is like
an-
Tracer.
another-
Okay, maybe this will be my kind of character. Or Soldier. There's so
Yeah.
you get a grasp on it a lot quicker, and you can enjoy the game a lot quicker and see if you like it or not. I think it's a
Another-
good thing, honestly.
Another one, Scarlet Witch and Moira are very very similar
But-
in
well,
their
so
styles.
But here's the
Not
thing,
very-
they
to
only
a
they
point, yeah.
if you look at every
It's
single
just
character
a-
where everybody is like, this character's a direct rip to Sigma, this
Well,
character's a
then.
direct rip to Moira.
I never said
I'm
it
not,
was
I'm not
a
saying
direct
you.
rip.
I'm not saying you.
Yes,
I
but
am
you're
saying-
attacking me like I did.
No, I'm not. I am attacking the fucking dumbass people on
He's
Twitch
bouncing.
and gamers that are fucking like
Need to-
just
You to take it down and
revenue. I'm not attacking you, but
I'm
I am
not
attacking everybody
Sony.
else. Like they are.
You could be.
It's
We
like
don't know.
okay, so Scarlet Witch has an ability where she doesn't have, again, yes, an
Absorbs
homage
or
to
whatever.
Moira. She sucks. I don't know how to say this other one. She
Whoa,
sucks
whoa,
off
whoa.
a character.
She-
Like she draws
Oh,
energy
wait.
to her damaging is to
She-
draw energy off of somebody.
How is
She
Vision
also-
gonna think
right?
about this?
She also goes invisible and,
she
goes
has-
into like a
she-
misform to
Wait, she
for
has a
for her
misform, but
dash,
that's
yeah,
it. Like that's
that,
it. Other than that, that is her only things that
That's-
are close to it.
That's three
But
quarters of
you-
Moira's entire fucking place.
No,
what
it's-
do you
it's-
mean
it's,
that's
it's just like Paladins, man. It's just like Pip and
Yeah.
Junkrat. They
Yeah.
both lob bombs and jump
I'm-
around like.
I'm just stating that you can't state that people can't state that they are very similar to
I'm not
Overwatch
saying-
characters
I-
when they
I'm not-
are.
I'm not saying
I'm,
that.
I'm just gonna state that they can say that there's similarities. They just can't state that it's gonna be like a one for one.
A
like
direct
exact
right,
rip.
and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
and that's
Because
what's
Scarlet
pissing
Witch
me off.
doesn't have any healing factor.
No, she has no healing
Moira
factor.
does.
No.
And then in that case, you should say, well, Rocket Raccoon is a fucking Moira rip because he has one ability that he bounces a fucking orb that heals. So does that make
Sure.
him a fucking he's a Moira
Oh,
rip
there's
off?
two
No.
Moiras.
Like
Or
I just
Spider-Man's a Reaper rip because he has that one move that
Right.
does like the big AoEs
only-
around
right.
him.
The only bad thing that I have to say is again, like there are some characters that I'm like, why? Like
Yeah,
again,
like Black
Loki.
Panther,
Loki being
No,
a
I-
healer
yeah.
makes no fucking
Well,
sense to
they're-
me.
Their choice making of putting these certain like
Yeah.
character types into the roles that doesn't really
Loki
all that
Loki is one of the
sense.
big ones for me. Doctor Strange, when I first
I
started
s-
playing, I was
I
like,
still
why is
argue
he a
Rocket.
tank?
I don't understand Rocket
like,
being a healer.
Rocket I
to an
somewhat
extent,
understand. So
I think
Rocket,
he should have still
after
been more of a Torbjorn type, being a
Yeah,
turret
I do
mancer
agree
or
with
something.
you. Rocket, after I played him a little bit and started looking at like his background and everything like that, I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
he's
mean,
kind
sure,
of
it
a
could
back end
feel good and
support,
And it
but
could
his
make
heals
sense,
don't
but
make sense. It would have
Yeah.
made more sense if he had been like a like you said, like
I'm
a
still gonna
Torbjorn.
say, man, I think this game could have set itself apart enough if they would have actually gone down a route of adding another role, being more of a utility type support.
Yeah,
I think that would have been a really cool idea, and
Yeah.
you know, give that role to like Rocket and you know, or
For sure, yeah.
or
What are
there's another
who are the
character.
other healers beside?
So
Jon
there's
Snow
Loki,
and Mantis.
there's Loki, Mantis, the Snow Chick, and then
Luna Snow.
Rocket. Those are
Yeah.
your three
Luna Frost,
your
Luna
four
Frost,
healers.
Four heroes.
Lunar Frost, yes.
Lunar
Um,
Frost
so-
is a healer.
Yeah, she does like
she's
ice
like a
healing.
Lucio. So she has a Lucio ability where she.
That's right. She has the
Um,
AoEs.
Yeah. But again, even her character kit, like, and this is what I'll say. I definitely agree that like it at first it's just kind of like, why, Enchantress could have been a better healer pick than Loki because of like what she would do. But I do somewhat go and say there has to be healers. Like there's got and there's got to be characters
Sure,
that
There
but they didn't-
does,
they
but
have such a huge arsenal of
That's what I was gonna
characters to
say.
choose from. They could have not put Loki in right away,
Yeah.
and just instead made somebody else a healer. I think they're just putting these big characters in because
well, yeah,
they
for
want,
namesake, yeah, they want
for
people.
for
I'm
namesake, they want
assuming
people
you'd
to
want Loki to
enjoy
be
it.
like a
An
a
assassin
speedy
A turret
or
man.
DPS.
something.
Yeah, like a Turbomancer DPS. Like the way that they have him set up, right? So the way that he works is he heals
Clones and
by
stuff.
shooting you, but he also puts down clones that will shoot people as well, and then he can transfer. He can like trade
Warp
places
back
with
and
them
forth, yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
warp back and forth
Like
between them, which
he
that
is
all makes sense.
A decent DPS,
Yeah,
even
that-
as a healer.
That makes sense to me. Like the
Right.
the subtlety and like him being like a trickster, like I'm swapping.
That's exactly how he sounds too.
Yeah, that is exactly how he says. That makes sense to me, but like the healing just doesn't. I don't understand it. Like Loki would never heal. Like
It's really it just seems like such a filler.
Like a
Like
shoehorned
they
in
needed
aspect.
kind of they needed a
shoehorned him
healer, and that
into a
was the
healer,
easiest
so
way to do it. Yeah,
there you go.
And I mean,
with the roster that they had.
and you also have things like Black Panther, for instance, who's I really hate that they just made Black Panther kind of shit. Like his character is pretty shitty.
Yeah,
Like
there's
there
definitely
are
some characters that need to be
so is Hulk,
reworked.
from what I understand.
I
Hulk
wouldn't
is
say
ass.
I wouldn't say he's
Hulk is ass and
shitty.
has
It's
no
just
ass.
that
he
I wouldn't say that Black Panther is shitty. It's just
Black
I think he
Panther?
has a high skill cap because like we've been wrecked by Black Panthers, like really good.
yeah,
Black
but his
Panthers
but
before.
like if you look at what again, kind of like his character, what he should be, like his like the mythos and lore
think-
of him. Why would you not go with like, hey, like again, keep him as a DPS. You can keep him as that, but like make him stealthy, make him go invis, make him silent,
Well,
make
my-
him.
my
know-
thing was and we were discussing this the other night on I think on your stream. My thing was like, why not make him a tank with like the ability to have like him soaking up damage, because they already have that. They already have that as a passive for him. When he's taking damage, he's able to put out more damage. Just swap it up to like when he's taking damage, it's damage mitigation, and then he does like a big
There you
giant.
go. It could have been like a
attack.
Zarya type,
Yeah.
There's a comparison again, but it
Yeah.
could have been,
Yeah, I mean, again, so I do hope that there are some reworks that they need to do. There are some characters that do need
Hulk-
some reworks.
Hulk needs a lot
yeah.
of love.
Like
Hulk-
Hulk is
Which
one of my
wild,
biggest
because you would
complaints.
think he would be the one, like being one of the more popular
Exactly.
Marvel heroes, that they
Yeah.
would have taken more care of him. But I hear he is like actually
He's
the only
ass.
trash tier character in the
He's
game.
terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
think
I
they
don't know about
really-
say the only, but yeah, he is
they
definitely.
went too far into like the Overwatch poll there with just trying to make him like a Winston, but he's just a very mediocre Winston. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he
do
doesn't-
really
he doesn't
anything
have the
well.
knockback or anything, right?
Well, he does
doesn't-
not
no,
that.
and
He
he's
doesn't.
super slow, and he's
Yeah, his
can't jump
kit just doesn't make
around.
sense, like really for
Yeah.
what he is, and and there's again
Well,
Iron Man, like Iron Man's kit, like if you
Yeah.
that character
Iron Man. Yeah,
is so like
Iron Man
could
just
be
needs to
amazing.
sped up a bit.
So a lot of these complaints I think can be fixed with just like very minor tweaks. So like
Yeah.
Iron Man can be fixed by like just giving
Speed
him
him
a
up a bit
little bit
and-
more
and
speed, or
maybe
giving him
fixes,
iframes like a dodge.
Fixes
Right.
turret. There is not his turrets, his
I-
missiles a little bit too.
What's his name? Hulk I think could be fixed just by making him a little bit more tankier. I think that his current kit is okay.
Yeah.
Right, just
Or let
make him
jump
so that
around
he
more or
like
something.
I think that for being the strongest Avenger, he is right now the weakest tank.
Yeah, dude, he's
Yeah.
I've also seen people say that to give Hulk, like whenever he jumps, like lands, make that like have a hitbox
knock
to
up,
it.
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
agree,
like
yeah.
a radiation hitbox or something. I don't know. So
Yeah.
you could do anything really. with
and
it.
there are characters that again, because you have characters that are flying in the air, that it's very like
he gets
like for instance, like
He gets screwed.
Spider-Man can be very tough because he's a melee, right? Like he doesn't, and even like Black Panther, very tough if you have characters that are like Iron Man, like Star-Lord, like Hela, that are all up in the air, and Storm, you can't get to, you can't touch them. So obviously, yeah, you're countering that, and you need, but like there are some characters that definitely need tweaks and love. But all in all, like the ebb and flow of the game, it's
think the
good.
current state is good.
It's good, man. And
Yeah.
and for an alpha, like,
it's a
fucking-
nitpick, but I still think it could be sped up. Like overall, I think it could just be sped up just a hair touch. But that's a nitpick on my part. I'm just finding like getting into like fights after you die is like uber slow, and it just doesn't
Especially
make
for
for like a
tanks.
smooth experience for me, man.
As a Groot, as a Groot player,
Yeah,
like Groot
man.
is so
No
fucking slow,
mobility,
dude.
like for those
Zero
characters that have no
mobility,
mobility at all.
very
it's just,
slow
it's
movement
rough.
speed. It's terrible. Like getting back into an engagement is
It's
like
not, you're not always going to have like
painful.
a Storm or like a Doctor
Yeah.
Strange to get you in there or anything, you know. So
Yeah.
I think
But-
they just need to tweak that just a little bit too.
Do you think some of these weaker characters and stuff is due to the combined abilities? Because I'm seeing like Rocket sitting on your shoulder as Groot, and I know Iron Man and Hulk have a synergy like that. Do you think those are like heavily factoring into the
I don't think
strength
so.
of the characters on like an individual basis?
Nah.
No, I don't think, because honestly, like the team ups are
I think
really
they do their
cool,
team
but
ups
they
do pretty good.
yeah, they don't. It's not something where it's like if you don't have a team up, you will lose, like
Yeah,
right.
kind of thing. Like obviously they definitely help, but
Like Rocket himself, I was playing Rocket quite a bit when we were playing. I think
Rest
that
is
Rocket
just
is
you on my
actually
shoulder.
yeah. I think that Rocket is actually better when he's not on Groot. Personally, granted, the like when I was playing right here with him, I'm basically a pocket tank or a pocket healer for him. I can just literally look down at the floor and fucking shoot, and that's
Yeah.
how I was doing. Like that's how we were doing so well in this. Is that I was literally just healing him, right?
Right.
But like I think that Rocket does better when he's not being teamed up with Groot, but actually probably better when he's teamed up with the Punisher, personally, because he has a team up with the Punisher that he gives the Punisher unlimited ammo when he does his ult. So
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think Loki's and Hela's team up's pretty good too. You know, you can pretty much revive Loki whenever he dies if you just get a kill within a few like span of a few seconds or something like that. You know, I mean,
It's pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, again,
So,
there's,
yeah,
there-
I
it's just
don't
another
think
cool
so.
ability. It's something to make him different, right? To stand out amongst the other games.
I actually think that is one of their better qualities on this game. Like in the comparison between Overwatch and this, I think that's what sets this game aside from Overwatch is that it does have that.
yeah. Do you think they should be adding a lot more team ups, or do you think they should be
I think so.
careful
Yeah.
with it?
Yeah,
What do
I
you
think
think the
I think that they
monetization
should.
model is going to be like? Do you think team ups are going to be part of the battle pass?
no,
think
so.
no, because
No, it'll
it's
be
based on
skins.
the character. Yeah, it's gonna be skins, and I think, I wonder if they're gonna go down the route of like you have to pay for characters. I could see them doing that.
Probably.
I
Um,
hope not, but
Well,
probably.
I mean, probably.
I could see it.
not
Like,
gonna
look at
be-
League.
I
you
wouldn't be
know.
surprised if they
I
do
just hope
like
it's
what
not
Smite
grind,
did.
like a
I-
huge grind.
Yeah,
is
so
all.
that's what I was supposed to say. I hope that if they do go down the route of paying for characters, they also offer a free route that's going
Well, they
to
will.
not be a huge
they have
grind.
to. I'm gonna say they have to. If they
Yeah.
don't, then they're
game
screwed.
dies. The game
That's
dies.
that's
Yeah.
one of that's where it dies. So
Um,
they will offer it free. I just hope it's not too egregious
we-
on the grind.
We haven't.
I also wouldn't be surprised if they do like what Smite does with like a one-time purchase that gives you access to all like current and future god or characters.
I would
Or
agree
even-
with you, but it's NetEase. I don't know if I try. I don't know if I think that they'll do
Yeah.
that. But,
Or they'll
How
do
does-
something
how does-
more along the lines of Rainbow Six Siege of being a year
How-
like a season
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
How does Smite handle that? Like, if you buy
Well,
that pass, do they just?
used to offer that pass to get all the guys? I don't think they do anymore though, do they?
No, they still do. Yep.
Do they? Really?
The thing was Smite 2 is going to have its own version of that pass, so you're going to have to buy that pass again for Smite 2. But
Oh, maybe
yeah,
that
if,
was it,
if it's still available.
Okay.
But no, I think if you like Overwatch, if you like the original Overwatch, like Scruffy said,
Yeah.
you'll definitely like this. And if you're a Marvel fan, I think it's a very competent Marvel shooter. I
now
am
it's
firmly impressed
One
with
of
it.
the more competent Marvel games we've had in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the most competent hero shooters we've had in a while. Like
That too.
You know,
yeah,
so
that too.
it's hitting on a lot of good things, and I mean, it's not confirmed. We have, but it's data mined that there is 39 heroes already in the works for this game. So
And like
know,
we said, man,
yeah.
they have a huge roster that they can pull
It's-
from, bro.
we've-
It's
we've been-
endless.
We've been stating it for literally
since
every Marvel game
Avengers,
that is
bro,
released
yeah.
since Marvel Avengers. That literally the only thing that you need to do for a Marvel game is release
Don't fuck up.
characters,
Release character.
and keep content coming. You have 80 years worth of content to play off of.
Yeah.
Why is that such a hard thing to understand? I don't understand it.
They just see that and they get so greedy. That really is what it is.
It's gonna be
And-
interesting.
or they just suck at developing.
It's-
I do like one thing that was said in chat. Celia has said that the funny how the most positive part of the entire stream is the one about NetEase games. This
I
is a really
know.
strange new world.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Considering literally last podcast we were like, fucking NetEase is gonna be terrible. They're gonna fuck this up.
I mean, I fully expected them to fuck it up. I'm still expecting them to fuck it up.
I still
They
kind of
still
fully
fucking
expect
can,
them to.
man.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
still can. We don't know.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed the patch notes. And if you want to see more from the Pre-Patch Podcast, don't forget to check us out live every Thursday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, or at anchor.fm/Pre-Patch Podcast, or wherever podcasts are listened to. Hope to see you there. Much love.